The global beast taming awakening arrives. While everyone is offering up their most valuable possessions, hoping to gain favor from powerful beasts, you choose a weak low-level octopus beast that needs no tribute. Your friends around you all laugh. So what if you were once a genius? Poverty can cut off all your dreams. You ignore them completely. Instead, you carry the octopus beast straight home. The guide to your awakening is too late. Your mysterious talent not only keeps you absolutely calm, it also lets you see every beast's bloodline affinity. As a cold mechanical voice rings in your mind, the F-grade talent binds to an old one. The system senses your need. Fuse with the old one bloodline? The moment you confirm, the octopus beast bursts with top-grade golden light. Its body keeps growing larger until it stands over 2 meters tall. An octopus head, a human body, and bat wings. Holy crap! It's actually Cthulhu, one of the great old ones. You cannot help but cry out. Clearly, you can see a beast's bloodline affinity, but you have no idea what final form it will become. This Cthulhu before you is still very small. A true Cthulhu would be even taller than Ultraman. With one casual strike, it could smash the island of Fusang. Even so, just meeting mini Cthulhu's gaze fills your mind with countless monsters whispering by your ears, enough to drive anyone mad. But soon, your F-grade mysterious talent takes effect, calming your mind back down. At the same time, the Cthulhu before you slowly lowers its body, as if expressing loyalty to you. This makes you especially excited. You quickly check Cthulhu's status panel. Name, Cthulhu. Title, Lord of Rili. Great Cthulhu. Talents, immortality, regeneration. Immortality grants immunity to aging and disease. The concept of death is ineffective against it. Even if injured, regeneration can restore it within seconds. That means your Cthulhu can never die. As expected of a great old one. Even in its infancy, it is already this powerful. Once it grows up, how terrifying will it be? It really is Cthulhu-like. However, Cthulhu's only flaw is that it causes beast tamers extremely severe mental interference. And your F-grade beast taming talent is mysterious. Although it gives beasts no direct boost, a beast tamer with this talent has extremely powerful mental strength, immune to all mental interference. That makes it a perfect match for Cthulhu. With Cthulhu, who else could dominate the beast taming exam? Just then, a voice rings in your mind. Mission: enter Dijing Academy. Reward: 1 drop of Old One bloodline. Accept? Seeing this second mission, you are overjoyed. After finishing the Beast Contract mission, you already know how heaven-defying this bloodline is. And Dijing Academy is Great Shia's top academy, where countless geniuses fight desperately to enter. But with Cthulhu, who can sweep the beast taming exam? This mission has no difficulty for you at all, except accepted successfully. Still, the beast taming exam has not arrived yet. Tomorrow, there is a mock exam. You look at Cthulhu before you, and the more you look, the more you like it. After looking enough, you put Cthulhu into your beast taming space. Meanwhile, at the Zhou residence, Zhou Yancheng, also one of the 4 great geniuses, is complaining. Dad, that Li Moran not only beat me, he even tried to end my family line. You have to destroy him. Zhou Yancheng cries with snot and tears. But Zhou Wenliang, chairman of the Zhou group, remains unusually calm. Taking care of a weakling is easy. But what then? The city lord's office is waiting for an excuse to move against us. You are the group's heir. You cannot be this impulsive. Zhou Yancheng freezes. So we just let it go. A ruthless glint flashes in Zhou Wenliang's eyes. Who said we let it go? He leans close to his son's ear, his voice dark. Yulin City forbids harming others, but it never forbids accidental deaths. Zhou Yancheng understands instantly, overjoyed. Dad, I get it. Tomorrow's mock exam is inside the secret realm. For an F-grade weakling, isn't it normal for an accident to happen inside? Zhou Wenliang's voice is like a venomous snake. Zhou Yancheng laughs coldly. What if he gets scared and does not join? Zhou Wenliang sneers. Then he loses his college exam qualification and can only become a minor. When that time comes, without us doing anything, he will be living worse than death. The next day, as soon as you arrive at school, you become the troublemaker everyone avoids. An F-grade weakling, plus the madman who beat Zhou Yancheng yesterday, makes you, in their eyes, a dangerous yet ridiculous existence. Moran, Zhang Yuru still comes to your side immediately, her eyes full of worry. Just as you are about to speak, an arrogant bird cry rings out. Lin Zhang walks over with a smug face. On his shoulder stands a basketball-sized demon chick. Li Moran, see this? High-level bloodline. Brother Joe spent 800,000 buying it for me. Are you jealous? He shows it off, then remembers you are an F-grade weakling. Being jealous is useless. Zhou Yancheng appears right after him, his eyes vicious. A weakling still dares to come today? Not afraid of dying in the secret realm? Your gaze turns cold. What? Yesterday's beating was not enough. Zhou Yancheng subconsciously shrinks his neck. but then remembers he now has a beast. His face immediately turns fierce. I have already contracted an epic grade bloodline, the Skybreaker Hunter. You still think you are my match? With a tiger roar, a fierce tiger burning with flames appears beside him, majestic and imposing. Gasps of envy rise all around. Zhou Yansheng looks at you smugly, waiting to see your panicked expression. But you merely glance calmly at the roaring beast and casually utter two words, as if looking at a kitten. Just a paper tiger. You don't really think it can scare me, do you? Your contemptuous attitude nearly makes Zhou Yansheng spit blood from rage. Keep acting tough. Once we enter the secret realm, let's see how arrogant you can be. Just then, a sharp cry pierces the sky. Lu Jinghong, dressed in a red gown, steps on a beast burning with golden flames and descends from the sky. My god, that is the spirit divine phoenix, a sacred beast with king-grade bloodline. The whole crowd instantly erupts. Lu Jinghong's entrance completely overshadows Zhou Yansheng. Even you cannot help taking another look. Using the great eye, you scan it. Name Spirit Divine Phoenix. Bloodline King Grade. It truly is powerful. Soon, Principal Zhao Deli announces the exam rules. This mock exam will be held in the Yulin City secret realm. It will last 2 days. You must hunt spirit beasts and raise your own beast to its growth stage to pass. Only then will you qualify for the Beast Taming College exam. How much spiritual energy does Cthulhu need to grow? You begin to look forward to it. While lining up to enter the secret realm, you happen to stand beside Lu Jinghong. She suddenly turns back and says in a cold, proud tone, Li Moran, I permit you to team up with me. You raise an eyebrow. Miss Lu, the school beauty, is interested in carrying a weakling like me? She says calmly, you were once my goal. Now that you have fallen from grace, I will help you once. From then on, we are even. We are no longer people of the same world. How is this help? It is clearly charity. You let out a cold laugh. Your gaze is sharp as a blade. No need. I, Li Moran, do not need your charity. After saying that, without looking back, you are the first to step through the light gate into the secret realm. Lu Jinghong watches your back, a trace of disappointment in her eyes. He cannot even accept his own weakness. He is doomed never to become strong, since you do not appreciate kindness. Do not blame me for standing aside. After a dizzying spin, you appear in an unfamiliar forest. Random TELEPORTATION. Perfect. It saves you from exposing Cthulhu too early. You have only taken a few steps when a transparent, adorable-looking little snake crawls over, even acting cute toward you. Void Spirit Snake. Highly venomous. Skilled at disguise. Trying to play innocent? Too green. With a thought, the great Cthulhu instantly descends. Its terrifying body, over 2 meters tall, appears beside you with endless black fog. Hiss. The moment that Void Spirit Snake sees Cthulhu, it is scared out of its wits and turns to flee. Too late, a pitch-black tentacle shoots out like lightning. With one strike, the Void Spirit Snake bursts into golden light. Cthulhu defeats a level 1 Void Spirit Snake and gains 10 spiritual power. Cthulhu's growth stage, 11 out of 10. My god. It needs 10,000 spiritual power to level up. 10 times more than others. Your face turns green. That means you must kill 1,000 little snakes like this to level up. Fine. Defeating them is defeating them. You stop hesitating and charge straight toward the depths of the secret realm. Cthulhu defeats a level 2 Swift Mantis, gaining 20 spiritual power. Cthulhu defeats a level 5 Twin Palm Ape, gaining 56 spiritual power. Cthulhu defeats a level 7 Flame-tailed Lizard, gaining 78 spiritual power. Along the way, not a single spirit beast can withstand even one of Cthulhu's tentacles. The battles are simple, brutal, and efficient. You only need to sit leisurely on Cthulhu's shoulder, directing the way. Leave the rest to it. As expected of a great old one. Even in its infancy, it is a dimensional strike in this beginner zone. After 2 or 3 hours, the teleportation rune in your palm begins flashing a warning. Warning. You are entering the depths of the secret realm. Extreme danger. Please leave immediately. Danger is danger for others. For me, it is an experience pack. You ignore it completely and step into an even deeper area. Meanwhile, on the other side, still not found him? He is only Li Moran. Could he have flown away? Zhou Yansheng is leading a group of lackeys, frantically searching for you in the outer area, but finding nothing. Boss Zhou, could he have gone deeper? One lackey says in a trembling voice. Zhou Yansheng immediately curses. Are you stupid? An F-grade weakling going deeper to seek death? Just then, a lackey in charge of scouting rushes over. Boss, we found Li Moran. He went deeper. Zhou Yansheng freezes, then flies into a rage. Ridiculous. That weakling really has a death wish. Chase him. Even if he runs to the ends of the earth, I will personally finish him today. The lackey still wants to say something, stammering as he adds, also, he seemed to have a very strong beast with him. Unfortunately, Zhou Yansheng has already rushed off with his men and does not hear the second half. Deep in the secret realm, you are leisurely living it up, Grilling meat. The ingredient is a horn you just killed by Cthulhu. The meat is tender and delicious, sizzling with oil and giving off a rich aroma. You tear off a piece of crispy, tender roasted lamb, take a bite, and your mouth fills with fragrant oil. Cthulhu beside you also waves a tentacle. You tear off a large piece of meat and hand it over. It rolls it up and swallows it. Just as you and Cthulhu are feasting, several flashlight beams shine over. Firelight. Someone is there. Zhou Yancheng leads a group of people, charging over aggressively. The moment he sees you, Zhou Yancheng laughs wildly. Ha ha ha, Li Moran, you think I cannot find you if you hide here? Today is the day you fall. You slowly wipe the oil from your mouth. Coming after me? Don't you know harming others is illegal? Zhou Yancheng looks smug. Of course I know, but this is the secret realm. If you get defeated by spirit beasts and have an accident, who will know I did it? After hearing this, you actually laugh. So it can be done that way? Zhou Yancheng, you really are a clever little devil. Zhou Yancheng thinks you are praising him and laughs even more arrogantly. Good that you know. Li Moran, finish him. Sky-burning fierce tiger. The sky-burning fierce tiger appears with a roar, majestic and imposing. However, in the next second, it seems to see its natural enemy. All its fur stands on end. It trembles all over, lets out a weak meow, and lies flat on the ground. Zhou Yancheng is stunned. Sky-burning fierce tiger, what are you doing? Attack. You sneer. Your paper tiger does not dare attack. Then let mine do it. As soon as you finish speaking, a pitch-black tentacle shoots from the black fog behind you like black lightning. It instantly wraps around the sky-burning tiger. With a wet crack, that epic bloodline beast does not even have time to scream before being crushed into bloody pieces. Zhou Yancheng's eyes nearly pop out. What? What is that thing? My sky-burning tiger. Only now do they see clearly that beside you stands a terrifying monster wrapped in black fog. What monster is that? Zhou Yancheng and the others are scared stiff. A wicked smile rises at the corner of your mouth. Since you want to die so badly, I will grant your wish. Cthulhu, release mass madness. An invisible mental wave instantly spreads out, covering Zhou Yancheng and his group. Their gazes instantly become unfocused. Their bodies dance uncontrollably, their mouths chanting incomprehensible mad ravings. Then, the most terrifying scene happens. They begin harming themselves, digging at their own eyes with their hands, biting and tearing their own arms covered in blood. The scene is deeply disturbing. Half a minute later, their bodies split apart in an eerie light, finally turning into nothingness, as if they had never existed. 7 humans successfully sacrificed. Your Cthulhu gains a trace of fear faith. You look at the empty ground, feeling no burden at all. They were the ones who attacked first. They cannot blame you for being ruthless. There are no cameras in the secret realm and no witnesses. Who would know you did it? You put out the fire and disappear into the night with Cthulhu. Not long after, Lu Jinghong arrives on the Spirit Divine Phoenix at this clearing as well. As soon as she lands, the Spirit Divine Phoenix beside her suddenly lets out a sorrowful cry, trembling violently all over. It wraps itself tightly with its wings, as if utterly terrified. Lu Jinghong is shocked and checks its condition at once. Status: affected by intense residual mental interference. Combat ability lost. Residual mental interference? Lu Jinghong's face turns pale instantly. If a King Bloodline Spirit Divine Phoenix is frightened like this just by sensing the residual aura, how terrifying must that beast itself be? In the secret realm, there cannot be a monster of that level. It must be someone else's beast. There is no fear in her eyes. Instead, unprecedented fighting spirit ignites. In Yulin City, there is actually such a peerless genius hidden. After Li Moran's fall, I thought I had no opponent left. Now it seems I was wrong. No matter who you are, I will find you and then surpass you. Night falls. You find a new place to set up camp. Just after pitching the tent, you hear movement. You look up and unexpectedly see a familiar figure. Lu Jinghong appears before you with her Spirit Divine Phoenix. She is stunned too. Frowning, she asks, "Why are you here?" In her eyes, you are an F-grade weakling. Running alone into the depths of the secret realm is no different from seeking death. Leaning lazily against a tree, you say, "If you can come, why can't I?" Lu Jinghong has no patience to waste words with you and asks directly, "I ask you, have you seen a very strong beast tamer? His beast is mental type. My little gold was scared by its residual aura." Your heart skips a beat. Is this girl talking about me? Cthulhu's mass madness is indeed a mental type skill. After thinking it over, you decide to tease her. So you decisively shake your head. No idea. Never seen him. Don't know him. Your crisp denial makes Lu Jinghong somewhat annoyed. She snorts coldly and turns to leave. But she cannot help turning back to warn you. I advise you to leave quickly. This is not a place you should stay. After all, you were once the goal she chased for 3 years. She does not want to watch you die so miserably. But you say calmly, "Just take care of yourself." Ungrateful. Lu Jinghong is angered by you and stops bothering. She rides the Spirit Divine Phoenix straight into the sky. You shake your head helplessly and are about to enter the tent to sleep, when suddenly a piercing scream rings out. You rush out of the tent. You see Lu Jinghong, who just flew into the sky, surrounded by several giant fly monsters. Although the spirit divine phoenix has noble bloodline, it is still in its infancy. How could it be a match for these vicious spirit beasts? In an instant, the spirit divine phoenix is pecked until feathers scatter, screaming as it loses balance. Lu Jinghong also screamed as she fell from high above. Unbelievable! She really knew how to cause trouble. You had no time to think. You instantly summoned Cthulhu. Black mist surged. Cthulhu's tentacles carried you, vanishing like a ghost in a flash. In an instant, you appeared beneath Lu Jinghong. At the same time, root-like tentacles stabbed into the sky like sharp swords. They instantly pierced through the bodies of those giant fly eagles. Cthulhu defeated a level 15 giant fly eagle, gained 280 spiritual power. Cthulhu defeated a level 16 giant fly eagle, gained 320 spiritual power. You had no time to check the notifications. You commanded Cthulhu to extend a tentacle. It steadily caught Lu Jinghong just before she hit the ground, then gently placed her down. Lu Jinghong opened her eyes with difficulty. Her face was full of confusion. Am I okay? She turned around. Then she saw a sight she would never forget. A figure wrapped in thick black mist, standing beside that octopus-headed, bat-winged terrifying monster. The intense mental shock made her mind spin. She nearly fainted on the spot. It's you. She recognized you at once. You were the mysterious genius she had been looking for. You were shrouded in Cthulhu's black mist. Even your voice became ethereal and mysterious. You angrily scolded her. Did you feed all 3 years of studying to the dogs? Don't you know giant fly eagles are most active at night? And you still dared to fly into the sky? Do you have a death wish? Lu Jinghong froze after being scolded. Since childhood, who had ever dared lecture her like this? She bit her lip and forced herself to stand. Stubbornly, she said, "Thank you for saving me. But my affairs are mine to decide." You were so angry you almost laughed. Yours to decide? If not for me, you'd already be a pile of remains. Seeing her turn her head away, still refusing to yield, a mischievous thought suddenly came to you. Wait, seeing that you were leaving, she hurriedly called out, "Please tell me your name and school. I, Lu Jinghong, will repay this favor." You looked at her so close to you, yet completely unable to recognize you. A wicked smile curled on your lips. You may call me Daddy. As for my school, there's no need to know. In the Beastmaster exam, you'll know who I am. After saying that, you and Cthulhu disappeared elegantly into the night. Lu Jinghong was left standing there alone, muttering that strange name. A blazing fighting spirit ignited in her eyes. Daddy, I may not be as good as you now, but I will definitely catch up to you and then defeat you. Lu Jinghong never spent her life beneath anyone. The next morning, you continued sweeping through the depths of the secret realm with Cthulhu. Cthulhu defeated a level 16 three-eyed leopard cat, gained 268 spiritual power. Lying on Cthulhu's shoulder, you relaxed as if you were on vacation. A few hours later, as another spirit beast turned into essence, the long-awaited voice finally rang out. Your beast, Cthulhu, has met the requirements. It is about to enter its growth stage. It finally leveled up. You were overjoyed. The black mist around Cthulhu instantly became incomparably dense. Its aura surged. Its body grew from over 2 meters to nearly 3 meters. Your beast, Cthulhu, successfully entered its growth stage. The skill group Madness has been enhanced. Tentacle attack has been enhanced. Its range increased to 200 meters. Cthulhu gained a new skill. Summon servants. Servants, the servants are here? You were extremely excited. You immediately ordered Cthulhu to summon them. The ground beneath your feet instantly turned into surging black water. 10 fish-headed, human-bodied, burly monsters crawled out. They knelt before Cthulhu. They were Cthulhu's loyal servants, the Deep Ones. Deep Ones, direct kin of Cthulhu. They possess immortality. They can fight for you, perform rituals, and develop believers. Amazing, you immediately ordered the 10 Deep Ones to scatter in all directions. They began hunting on their own. With these servants, your monster farming efficiency instantly increased tenfold. You then took Cthulhu and headed toward the core area of the secret realm. However, before long, a system notification came. Your Deep One has been defeated. You immediately pulled up the monitoring footage from before that Deep One fell. In the image, that Deep One had entered a mountain area. Then it was overwhelmed by dozens of enormous black wolves. It was instantly torn to pieces. A pack of dark wolves. These were among the most troublesome spirit beasts in the realm. They lived in packs and were ferocious. Their numbers were massive. If any other examine saw such a sight, they would be scared senseless. But you revealed a cruel smile. You dared defeat my kin? Very good. You took Cthulhu and charged fiercely toward the wolf pack. Oh woo! Your rival instantly put the wolves on alert. Dozens of dark wolves bared their teeth and let out threatening growls. You looked at this impressive pack, the corner of your mouth curving wickedly. Cthulhu, let them feel pain. Release group madness. Buzz. An invisible mental storm instantly swept through the entire mountain. The wolf pack that had been savage 1 second ago fell completely into madness the next. They let out strange howls and began frantically attacking their companions. What a killing energy feast! You and Cthulhu stood where you were, like elegant conductors, admiring this energy banquet directed by you. Cthulhu defeated a level 17 Dark Wolf, gained 389 spiritual power. Cthulhu defeated a level 18 Dark Wolf, gained 428 spiritual power. Your spiritual power count jumped wildly. Half an hour later, the entire valley fell silent. Wolf corpses lay everywhere, golden light covered the ground. You smiled in satisfaction, then you continued toward the end of the secret realm with Cthulhu. Meanwhile, outside the secret realm, countless examinees had already been teleported out. Most of them looked utterly battered, but their eyes shone with the light of growth. Suddenly, a sharp cry rang out. Lu Jinghong, the joke who had always treated you as her goal, summoned her elven god emperor. That scene made a bunch of ignorant people gasp in amazement. Wow, her beast is so handsome. The elven god emperor. After its chaos body stage, it can become a sacred beast. That must be Lu Jinghong from Qingyu High School, right? An SSS-level talent. Incredible. The principal of Qingyu High School, Zhao Deli, had an old face smiling like a blooming chrysanthemum. Beside him, in front of several other principals, he showed off like crazy. How strange! I clearly didn't publicize it. How does everyone know my school produced an SSS genius? He shamelessly patted Principal Wu on the shoulder beside him. Old Wu, don't you think geniuses just can't be hidden? Those principals' faces turned green with anger. Their fists clenched and cracked. Zhao Deli stopped while he was ahead, then cheerfully ran over to Lu Jinghong. Student Lu, how do you feel? Lu Jinghong only replied calmly, thank you, Principal. I don't need anything. I knew it. This mock exam was a piece of cake for you. Immediately after, the staff led Lu Jinghong to register her results. Several principals gathered around, unconvinced, wanting to see what she was truly capable of. Zhao Deli kept stirring things up. Everyone, guess how many beasts Student Lu from our school defeated? Principal Wu replied sarcastically, high talent doesn't mean high combat power. The recorded lynching was still created by an S-level talent student. 351. Even SS-level students couldn't break it. That person was from your school, right, Old Wu? Principal Wu immediately became proud. Of course. He now has 3 beasts. His strongest has already reached the awakening stage. As soon as he said that, gasps sounded all around. Just then, Lu Jinghong's results came out. Qingyu High School, Lu Jinghong. Number of spirit beasts defeated, 589. The whole place went dead silent. Principal Wu's face was instantly slapped hard. This is impossible, haha. Zhao Deli's laughter nearly blew the roof off. Old Wu, are you convinced now? Now you know, right? Those principals could no longer stay. They made up all kinds of ridiculous excuses and fled in disgrace. My Sao is giving birth. I just got my period. Zhao Deli even shouted after them, everyone, remember to come to Student Lu's celebration banquet. After everyone left, Zhao Deli moved closer to Lu Jinghong again. Student Lu, just tell me if you need anything. But Lu Jinghong suddenly asked, Principal, is there anyone in lynching called Daddy? Zhao Deli froze. Daddy? Never heard of one. I'm sure there isn't. Lu Jinghong frowned. How could there not be? That person who completely suppressed her in this secret realm had let her taste defeat for the first time, but her damned pride kept her from saying it out loud. Time passed minute by minute. The sky gradually darkened. Only half an hour remained before the secret realm closed. Lu Jinghong did not leave. She wanted to wait for that daddy to come out. Just then, the homeroom teacher Zhang Yuru ran over anxiously. Principal, Student Lu, have you seen Li Moran? Her voice trembled. He's been inside for 2 days. His talent is so poor. I'm worried. Zhao Deli also frowned. To be honest, he had long prepared himself for the possibility that you were gone. What hope could an F-level talent have? But Lu Jinghong spoke up. I saw him in the depths of the secret realm. He was still alive then. What? The depths of the secret realm? Zhang Yuru and Zhao Deli cried out at the same time. An F-level talent went deep inside? Was he looking for death? Until the beginner secret realm closes, only the final 3 minutes remain. The broadcast rang out mercilessly. Zhao Deli said in a heavy voice, Teacher Zhang, if he still hasn't come out, then I'm afraid. He did not finish. But everyone understood what he meant. Is there something wrong with you? Zhang Yuru's face instantly lost all color. Her heart pounded wildly. She could barely breathe. Lu Jinghong also frowned. That genius who had suppressed her for 3 years, was he really gone just like that? Time is up. The secret realm is closing. The moment the administrator's voice fell, the silent gate flashed one last time. Then Lee Moran walked out with a relaxed expression, showing up at the last second. Now that is what a protagonist does. You stretched lazily in your heart. As soon as Moran raised his head, you saw Jong Yuru, both shocked and delighted. Sister Ru, you smiled and walked over. Jong Yuru grabbed your hand. Her eyes were red, full of lingering fear. Thank goodness, you finally came out. I thought you. Seeing her like this, your heart ached. You apologized, Sister Ru, I made you worry. It's fine, as long as you're okay. She let out a long sigh of relief. On the other side, Lu Jinghong studied you with a probing gaze, completely unharmed. This was far beyond her expectations. But what she cared about more was that Daddy still had not appeared. Principal Zhao Deli walked over. He cleared his throat. Student Lee Moran, since you're out, go register your results. You nodded, then walked toward the staff. Soon, your results appeared before everyone's eyes in a shocking way. Qingyu High School, Lee Moran. Number of spirit beasts defeated, 1,368. A deathly silence. Zhao Deli's eyes nearly popped out. Did you people make a mistake? The staff answered firmly. The formation mark can never be wrong. Impossible. Lu Jinghong was the first to lose control and scream. You're only an F-level talent. How could you defeat so many? You glanced at her. Your tone was calm yet carried a hint of mockery. For 3 years, although you were unconvinced, at least you still had the courage to chase me. But now, you can't even admit my results? Lu Jinghong was choked speechless by your words. It was as if she once again sought the figure who had always suppressed her. Zhao Deli also grew anxious. Student Lee Moran, how did you do this? You had already prepared an explanation. You can never reveal the secret of the Old One bloodline. You pretended to be mysterious and asked back, Principal, who told you I only awakened an F-level talent? What, could it be dual talents? You nodded, then dropped an even heavier bombshell. Not just dual talents. They are linked talents. My second talent can make my first talent unleash power far beyond SSS level. Ha ha ha. Zhao Deli could no longer hold back. He laughed until he bent forward and backward. The heavens blessed Qingyu High School. Linked talents. Zhang Yuru was even more surprised and delighted. Moran, is it true? Of course. You smiled confidently. Otherwise, how could I have gotten such good results? That's wonderful. Zhang Yuru was even more excited than you. Zhao Deli immediately started creating favor. Not only did he promise Zhang Yuru an outstanding teacher award and doubled bonus, he also decided on the spot to give you all of this year's grants and scholarships. Of course you would not refuse. Sister Ru had lived frugally because of you. This money would make her life much easier. After exchanging a few words, you were too hungry to bear it and said goodbye. Principal, I'll go home first. I'm starving. Good. Go back quickly. Don't forget tomorrow's entrance exam. Do you need me to send a car to pick you up? Zhao Deli's enthusiasm was a bit too much for you. No need. Sister Ru will wake me up. You pulled Zhang Yuru and turned to leave, preparing to slip away. However, Lu Jinghong suddenly stepped forward and blocked your path. Her elegant brows were raised, her face frosty. There was even a hint of grievance on her face. You frowned. School bell Lu, why are you blocking my way? She bit her lip. Almost shouting, she said, Lee Moran, are you that daddy? You looked confused. What daddy? What nonsense is that? But if you call me daddy, I might respond. Lu Jinghong's face turned red with anger. Since childhood, only you had dared speak to her like this. She refused to let it go. You still won't admit it? The one who saved me in the depths of the secret realm. Who else could it be but you? You continued shaking your head. I don't remember. School bell Lu, could it be that you missed me so much you started hallucinating? Sister Ru, let's go. After saying that, you directly pulled Zhang Yuru around her and strode away. Looking at your departing back, Lu Jinghong found it more and more familiar, and the more she looked, the angrier she became. She stomped her foot, then thought bitterly, you don't dare admit it, do you? Lee Moran, just you wait. Sooner or later, I'll expose you, and when that time comes, I'll definitely defeat you. Just then, a middle-aged man with a furious face ran into Zhao Deli, who was about to leave. Zhao Deli looked closely and was shocked. Boss Zhou, why are you here? The newcomer was the boss of Zhou Group, Zhou Yanchang's father, Zhou Wenliang. His voice was icy, like the depths of winter. Principal Zhao, why has Yanchang still not come out? Of course, you did not know about the trouble that happened after you left. Early the next morning, the square of Qingyu High School was already packed with people. The Beastmaster exam, the day that would decide countless people's fate, had finally arrived. Strangely, Principal Zhao Deli did not appear today. The Dean of Teaching gave a brief speech, then led you all onto the bus heading to the exam site. The bus was full of discussion, but soon everyone's attention was drawn to the entrance exam that was about to begin. 15 minutes later, you arrived at the exam site. It was a massive square. Dozens of huge stone pillars stood all around it. A majestic voice descended from the sky. Examinees, I am Chief Examiner Zhou Zheng. I will now announce the rules. No one is allowed to speak. Otherwise, your exam qualification will be revoked. As soon as he finished speaking, someone who did not believe it muttered softly. Instantly, a beam of light shot out. That unlucky fellow was directly teleported out. The entire place fell silent. Some people were so frightened they even covered their mouths. Zhou Zheng's voice continued. This entrance exam has 3 stages. The first stage is the comprehensive ability test. There are 10 sections, worth 150 points in total. You must pass each section and score over 120 points overall to enter the next stage. The second stage is the practical combat assessment. You will survive in the wilderness for 3 days. The total score is 300 points. You must score above 240 points overall to enter the next stage. The third stage is the trial tower. Recruitment teachers from the top 10 academies will watch in real time. The total score is 300 points. The rules are clear and simple. Now, all examinees line up and enter the pillars of light. Begin the first stage test. You followed the crowd into one of the pillars of light. Inside the pillar was a pure white space, and you were the only one there. A wave of light scanned over you. Your information appeared before your eyes. Examine name, Lee Moran. Exam number 0-160-175-80. Beastmaster talent, mysterious, F-level, registered beast, Cthulhu. At the same time, in the pavilion outside the exam site, Chief Examiner Zhou Zheng and several deputy examiners were reviewing your information. Your profile was displayed right at the very top. This is the mock. How can the top scorer have F-level talent? I heard from his principal that it's a linked talent. A linked talent? That's incredible. His beast, Cthulhu, has never been heard of before. Maybe it mutated. Alright, begin the spiritual power test first. The order was given. A testing stele appeared before each of you. Results appeared one by one. Examine Higuajang S-level, spiritual power index, 2038. Most people's scores were between 1,000 and 2,000. Just then, Lu Jinghong's result shocked the entire place. Examine Lu Jinghong, SSS-level, spiritual power index, 4,216. Over 4,000. She broke the record. Several examiners praised her. However, in the very next second, a record appeared that almost made their eyes pop out. It appeared. Examine Lee Moran, F-level, spiritual power index, 12,678. The examiners in the pavilion were all stunned by the index above 10,000. That was the level only a mature stage beast should have. Impossible. Is the stele broken? Zhou Zheng frowned and checked it at once. It was indeed broken. Replace it and have him test again. Several examiners breathed a sigh of relief. That made sense. You received the order to retest. Although you looked confused, you still did as told. Examine Lee Moran, F-level, spiritual power index, 18,762. Unbelievable. This makes no sense. This time, the examiners could no longer sit still. Zhou Zheng checked the stele again. It was completely intact. The result was real. How did he do it? Zhou Zheng took a deep breath. Helplessly, he said, count it as full marks. Continue to the next test. Now begin the beast bloodline test. Please summon your beast. You summoned Cthulhu. The scanning light fell. Beast name Cthulhu. Bloodline mythical? Another wave of gasps sounded. A mythical bloodline? What does that question mark mean? That means it may be more than mythical. Zhou Zheng's eyes were sharp. Immediately after, more information appeared. Cthulhu strength rating power SSS+. Agility SS+. Spirit beyond limit undetectable. Constitution beyond limit undetectable. Skills SSS+. Overall rating SSS+. It broke through every testing limit. The upper limit of the testing space was the theoretical peak for a growth stage beast. But your Cthulhu's spirit and constitution had directly exceeded the detection range. The examiners felt their worldview being pressed to the ground by you and rubbed wildly. Zhou Zheng suppressed his shock. Record it. Full marks. Next test, combat ability. A wooden training dummy appeared before you. Please use your beast's strongest skill to attack the dummy. You thought for a moment. Cthulhu's strongest attack was tentacle attack, right? You immediately ordered attack. Cthulhu's tentacle only flicked lightly. The dummy, set to withstand a full-force blow from a mature stage beast, instantly shattered into powder. You looked innocent. It broke just like that? It's way too fragile. The examiners outside were already numb. Good kid. What's even the point of testing? The following tests were even more moving. Combat coordination, emergency response, without question, all full marks. The final item was the practical combat test. A level 20 Blade Fierce Tiger appeared before you. Please endure the Blade Fierce Tiger's attacks for 3 minutes. However, you never gave it a chance to attack. Whoosh. Cthulhu's tentacle flashed like lightning, instantly twisting the tiger into pieces. Clean and efficient. The examiners looked at this scene and completely gave up. Give him full marks. This can't be tested anymore. Jo Jung looked utterly defeated. The final theory exam was even more your specialty. You finished and handed it in no time. The result was still full marks. This comprehensive ability exam has ended. The results will be announced shortly. You walked out of the exam room feeling refreshed. Soon, Jo Jung's voice rang across the whole place. He announced the final rankings. First place, Lee Moran, total score 150. Second place, Lu Jinghong, total score 148. Third place, Zhao Fihua, total score 142. Your name hung at the top of the ranking with a perfect score. Lu Jinghong looked at the ranking. A flash of surprise crossed her eyes. But more than that, there was an unyielding fighting spirit. I knew it was you. In the next practical test, I'll definitely force you to reveal yourself. Soon, the examinees who failed the first stage were eliminated and left. Fewer than 300 remained. All examinees, please stand in the center of the square. Teleportation will begin soon. Light burst out. The scene before your eyes instantly changed. You were teleported into the wild. Attention all examinees. You must undergo a 3-day survival trial in this exam area. I now announce the official start of the Wilderness Survival Assessment. You looked around. Clear mountains and rivers. Birds singing, flowers blooming. It was a great place for a vacation. Roar. A beast's roar interrupted your mood. A giant lizard burning with black flames charged toward you. A demonic flame giant lizard. Perfect for a test run. You summoned Cthulhu. Huge tentacles instantly wrapped around the giant lizard. Sizzle, the demonic flames, thousands of degrees hot, actually burned Cthulhu's tentacles red. You thought, oh my god, don't cook him. I don't want to eat grilled octopus tentacles. But Cthulhu had no sense of pain at all. The tentacles suddenly tightened. They directly crushed the demonic flame giant lizard. A strange roasted aroma drifted over. You sniffed. It smells good. You quickly shook your head, driving away that dangerous thought. Immediately after, you made a decision that left all the examiners dumbfounded. Cthulhu summoned the deep ones. 10 deep ones appeared. You ordered them to farm monsters for you. As for you, you found a scenic place, set up a tent, took out a rechargeable fan, laid down a cooling mat, and laid down directly. The summer heat was strong. The exam was so exhausting. How could you not take a nap? Soon, you let out soft snores. Meanwhile, in the external monitoring room, several examiners stared at the screen, watching you sleep soundly. They were so angry their lungs almost exploded. This is outrageous. Everyone else is fighting with their lives on the line. And he's sleeping here? At his age, how can he even fall asleep? Doesn't he care about his score? Jo Jung's sharp eyes noticed the problem. Wait, look. His summons are slaughtering everything in the exam area. All the kills count toward him. The examiners looked closely. Sure enough, those 10 deep ones were like wolves among sheep. And around your campsite, Cthulhu's black mist shrouded everything. No spirit beast dared come close. One examiner slapped the table and stood up. No, I can't stand this. We can't let him have it this easy. Exactly. He must feel society's harsh beating. We were tortured half to death during our exams. Why does he get to be so comfortable? That rational examiner immediately used his authority and released a level 30 spirit beast. It rushed straight toward you. You were sleeping soundly, even covering yourself with a small blanket. You knew nothing about the danger outside. Roar. A level 30 blood tiger that had been starved for a long time and turned vicious followed your scent and charged at your tent. However, as soon as it approached, root-like tentacles burst from the ground. They instantly dragged it high into the air. The tiger struggled wildly. It even used its claws to tear Cthulhu's tentacles. But it was useless. Cthulhu's immortal body recovered instantly. At the same time, corrosive liquid flowed from the tentacles. Sizzle. A few seconds later, that mighty blood tiger turned into a dried corpse. As for you, you merely smacked your lips, turned over, and kept sleeping peacefully. In the monitoring room, the examiners were stunned again. A level 30 blood tiger was defeated instantly. Examiner Li Xin could no longer save face. He gritted his teeth. I don't believe it. Teacher Zhou, I request permission to release a small beast tied. Teacher Li, isn't that too much? If something goes wrong, someone could die. Examiner Li Xin insisted. He must feel pressure. You don't want to see him sleep his way to first place either, do you? Jo Jung thought for a moment. Unexpectedly, he agreed. He also felt this brat was far too outrageous. Releasing level 25 gale leopards. Releasing level 27 black feathered eagles. A total of 130 for spirit beasts, none below level 25, came from all directions, surging toward your campsite like a tide. 100 to 1. The advantage is ours. The examiners were full of confidence. Roar. Thunder's beast roars rang out, but Cthulhu blocked all noise for you. You even slept more soundly. That still didn't wake him? The examiners stomped their feet in anger. As the beast tide arrived, Cthulhu's tentacles danced wildly. Like the sits of death, they instantly tore apart the dozen spirit beasts charging at the front. But there were simply too many. Seeing the beast hide about to crush the tent, buzz, buzz, buzz. Without your command, Cthulhu took the initiative and released Group Madness. An invisible mental shock instantly spread out. The once ferocious spirit beasts suddenly stopped in their tracks. Their eyes turned mad one by one. They began dancing uncontrollably, even kneeling before Cthulhu in twisted postures. Immediately after, they began killing each other, biting, ramming, and unleashing energy wildly. Half an hour later, only the final spirit beast remained on the battlefield. With one tentacle pierce, Cthulhu ended this chaos. Corpses piled like mountains around your tent. Golden light covered the ground, yet you were completely unharmed, not even changing your sleeping position. The monitoring room fell into deathly silence. Jo Jung let out a long sigh. Enough. Stop messing with him. He's qualified to sleep. With the current intensity of this exam area, it's impossible to pose any threat to him. You yawned, stretched, and finally woke from your sweet dream. As soon as you walked out of the tent, you froze. Oh my god! Round your campsite, golden light was everywhere. Corpses covered the land. A thick, gloomy aura rushed toward you. What exactly happened while I was sleeping? Although you were shocked, you quickly accepted reality. Well, at least it saves me from hunting. You picked the spirit beast corpse that looked the tastiest, packed up your tent, sat on Cthulhu, and moved to another scenic place to start a fire. Barbecue. Meanwhile, Lu Jinghong followed the unusual reaction of her elven god emperor and tracked all the way over. When she saw that mountain of corpses and sea of energy, she was completely stunned. Her mind went blank. Such a dense, gloomy aura. Who on earth did this? She saw the mini vulture circling in the sky and knew she could not stay long. She immediately turned to leave, but she already had an answer in her heart. Other than that man, who else could do something like this? It was you, wasn't it, Lee Moran? Achoo. Who's thinking about me? You were sprinkling seasoning on the barbecue when you suddenly sneezed. After eating and drinking your fill, you lay on the grass and looked at the moon. As you watched, you found the moon getting closer and closer. It even turned into two straight, slender legs. You sat up with a start. Lu Jinghong was standing right in front of you, panting heavily. Her chest rose and fell. We meet again, school bell Lu. What fate? You greeted her with a smile. Lee Moran, I knew it was you. She shouted angrily, pointing at Cthulhu beside you. You still said that person wasn't you. Then what's going on with this beast? The evidence is irrefutable. You coughed and decided to stop pretending. Alright. It was me. I admit it, okay? Don't be angry. Have some barbecue. At least you know what's good for you. Lu Jinghong snatched the barbecue from your hand. Ignoring her image, she began eating in big bites. Looking at her like this, you found her quite cute. After eating her fill, she finally asked seriously, Lee Moran, what exactly is your beast? Why is my little Jin so scared that she doesn't dare come out? You spouted nonsense with a straight face. It must be because I'm so handsome that little Jin feels inferior. Lu Jinghong raised her brows. Be serious. Also, little Jin is female. You stopped teasing her. You briefly explained Cthulhu's mental interference ability. After hearing it, Lu Jinghong understood, but she still felt unwilling in her heart. Seeing her unhappy expression, you suddenly became interested. Your beast doesn't dare come out. How about I take you farming? It'll definitely be more efficient than going alone. Is that allowed? Lu Jinghong hesitated a little. You gave her no chance to refuse. You directly pulled up her hand. Stop talking, get on. The next second, you had already forced her onto Cthulhu's back. The two of you were very close. Lu Jinghong's face instantly turned red. She hesitated for a moment, but in the end, she agreed to your team request. Hold on tight, you shouted. What? Before she could react, Cthulhu had already spread its wings and shot into the sky. That speed was far faster than her elven god emperor. Lu Jinghong subconsciously hugged your waist tightly. And that's not all. You laughed loudly. Cthulhu moved like black lightning, traveling through the air at high speed. Countless tentacles shot down from its body, precisely defeating every spirit beast on the ground and in the forest. Team defeated level 20 Red Feathered Rooster. Gained 200 spiritual power. Team defeated level 18 Gale Wolf. Gained 160 to spiritual power. Lu Jinghong was completely stunned. She could not even see where the spirit beasts were. Before the battle was already over, you took her flying over the previous mountain of corpses. Cthulhu casually cleaned up dozens of vultures that had gathered there that night. You took Lu Jinghong across the entire exam area, performing an astonishingly efficient cleanup. Looking at your spirited side profile, she suddenly felt that you seemed even more charming than you had in high school. This scene also fell into the eyes of all the examiners. This is outrageous. He came here for an exam, not to take a girl on a date. Haha. They're young. They look quite well matched. Teacher Lee, look. Didn't this get him moving and taking the exam properly? The rational examiner who had targeted you earlier now had an old face flushed red. He could not say a word. After bringing Lu Jinghong along, your motivation to farm monsters exploded. The two of you and one beast were like locusts passing through. Wherever you went, nothing was left alive. Along the way, you also ran into many other examinees. Some were fighting monsters with great effort. Then a black shadow flashed by. The monster was gone. Only a corpse was left. Some were being chased by spirit beasts. You casually solved the spirit beasts for them, hiding your merit and fame. Jinghong, do you think I'm a great person? Lu Jinghong only gave you a huge eye roll. Soon, you saw a familiar figure, Lin Zhang. He was commanding his demon pupil hound carefully, wearing down a heavily injured earth bear nearly at level 30. Seeing this, a wicked smile curled on your lips. Lin Zhang, oh Lin Zhang, meeting me is your bad luck. You directly ordered Cthulhu to fly over. Lin Zhang was fantasizing about defeating the earth bear and entering the Imperial Capital Academy. His beautiful dream was almost complete. Just then, whoosh, a tentacle descended from the sky. It instantly pierced the earth bear's heart. The duck at his lips had flown away. Lin Jiang's eyes nearly split with rage. He unleashed a long string of curses, greeting the other party's ancestors for 18 generations. He suddenly looked up, following the tentacle. Then he froze. You and Lu Jinghong slowly descended from the back of that huge monster. Li Moran and Lu Jinghong, you wore a playful smile. Your tone was relaxed. That's right. I took a liking to this bear, so I stole it. What about it? Lin Jiang's anger and grievance were instantly extinguished by fear. He remembered your abnormal link talent. He could only force out a smile uglier than crying. No problem. You defeated it well. You defeated it very well. At least you know your place. You were too lazy to bother with him. You took Lu Jinghong and flew into the sky again. Looking at your departing figure, Lin Zhang hated you so much his teeth nearly shattered. At this moment, the invigilation area was already in chaos. Report. The southeast region is short on spirit beasts. Requesting replenishment. Report. The western spirit beasts are in critical shortage. Report. The northern area has been cleared out. Zhou kept ordering new spirit beasts to be released, but they could not keep up with your clearing speed. The exam area spirit beast reserves were dropping at an astonishing speed. That monster is still defeating them. He's still defeating them. Doesn't he ever get tired? He's been fighting for a full day and night. Some examinees even started complaining, saying they had encountered supernatural events. The monsters just disappeared mid-fight. They couldn't even see who stole the kill. The examiners truly wanted to cry. In a fit of anger, Zhou Zheng released another small beast hide, but in less than half an hour, it was wiped out by your group madness again. Is this guy a monster? I've been an examiner for years, but I've never seen an examinee like this. Several examiners looked resentfully at Examiner Li. Teacher Li, this is all your fault. You insisted on provoking him. He was sleeping just fine before. Examiner Li also looked utterly regretful. He was filled with remorse. He had only wanted to make you move, but you moved too much. You nearly tore the entire exam area apart. Report. The central region requests replenishment. Zhou Zheng was already numb. Replenish it with 200. But in less than an hour, those 200 were wiped clean by you again. On the second night, when you and Lu Jinghong finally stopped to rest, the examiners all breathed a huge sigh of relief. Zhou Zheng hurriedly said, check the inventory. How many spirit beasts are left? Report. Fewer than 300 remain. Out of the 2,000 reserves, you had nearly wiped them all out in 2 days. Zhou Zheng made a quick decision. Contact headquarters. Send another 2,000 over. He was afraid even 1,000 would not be enough for you. On the third day, the final day of the exam, your killing became even crazier. Cthulhu absorbed massive amounts of spiritual power. Its strength soared. You checked its growth progress. Cthulhu growth stage, 176,849 out of 300,000, as expected of an old one. It needs 300,000 spiritual power to level up. That's ridiculous. Just as you were killing enthusiastically, Lu Jinghong tugged at your sleeve. Moran, can we stop for a moment? What, are you tired? Why don't you sit in front? I'll hold you. Lu Jinghong blushed and snapped. That's not it. It's little Jin. She's about to level up. Wow, that fast? In a team, spiritual power is shared equally. Although her elven god emperor never fought, it still received a massive amount of essence. Its leveling requirement was far lower than Cthulhu's. You immediately found an open space and landed. Summon your beast. I'll protect you. Lu Jinghong looked a little embarrassed. Can you put your beast away first? With it nearby, little Jin won't dare come out. You felt helpless. This sacred beast is way too timid. After you recalled Cthulhu, Lu Jinghong finally summoned the elven god emperor. The elven god emperor ignited with noble golden flames all over its body. In the end, it turned into a huge fireball. A moment later, flames shot into the sky. A long cry resounded through the clouds. Rebirth through fire. After leveling up, the Elven God Emperor was larger. Its aura was stronger. Its whole body radiated holiness and nobility. Wonderful! Lu Jinghong happily hugged it. However, Little Jin seemed full of confidence after leveling up. Its gaze became extremely sharp. It let out a challenging cry at you. You looked confused. What are you staring at? Lu Jinghong translated for it. Little Jin says she is terrifyingly strong now. She wants you to summon Cthulhu. She wants to teach that arrogant creature a lesson. Your expression turned strange. Are you sure? The Elven God Emperor cried arrogantly again. Full of confidence. Fine. Without another word, you summoned Cthulhu once more. When that strange and terrifying figure appeared, the upgraded Elven God Emperor was indeed no longer affected by the mental interference. Its confidence soared. With a long cry, it charged toward Cthulhu with raging flames. Then, a few seconds later, bird feathers filled the sky. Cthulhu wrapped the Elven God Emperor with one tentacle, while another tentacle calmly plucked its feathers one by one. The sacred beast that had just looked majestic was instantly plucked into a drenched chicken. Only after Cthulhu taught it a lesson did it finally let go. The Elven God Emperor fled behind Lu Jinghong in embarrassment. It wrapped itself in its wings, trembling all over. It looked extremely wrong. You spread your hands, looking innocent. You saw it too. It asked me to do that. I've never seen such a request in my life. Lu Jinghong's face instantly turned bright red. She felt utterly embarrassed by her own beast. Just then, a voice rang throughout the entire exam area. Attention all examinees. This stage of the exam has ended. Please leave the exam area immediately. As soon as the end bell rang, the examinees around you all felt relieved. They crushed their teleportation marks, one after another, and stumbled out of the exam area. The square was filled with groans of misery. Many people were in rags, covered in dust. Clearly, the wilderness survival test had tormented them badly. However, you and Lu Jinghong looked as if you had just finished a stroll in the park. You were completely unharmed. The look she gave you was extremely complicated. She had said she would surpass you, but these past 2 days, you had crushed her completely. She finally recognized reality. Both of you were geniuses, so why was the gap so huge? Lu Jinghong was very unconvinced. In her heart, she thought her beast's bloodline simply was not high enough. Once she obtained a beast with a mythical bloodline, she would definitely surpass you. Just then, Chief Examiner Zhou Zheng's voice rang across the whole place. Now, the scores for this round will be announced. The results on the big screen refreshed instantly. First place, Lim Ran. Total score, 300. Second place, Lu Jinghong. Total score, 300. Third place, Zhao Fihua. Total score, 280. The whole place exploded. Full marks? And 2 people? Compared to everyone else, this was a cliff-like gap. In the crowd, Lin Jiang's face turned green. He stared fixedly at your name, his teeth grinding loudly. He only had 230 points. He could not even enter the top 100. When he thought of the earth bear that had nearly been his, only for you to steal to kill, his heart, liver, spleen, lungs, and kidneys all ached with hatred. If not for you, he could have at least entered the top 50. Jealousy and resentment twisted his face completely. The next second, he suddenly jumped out, pointing at the big screen and roaring in protest. Why can the 2 of them get full marks? There must be something shady going on. I suspect they cheated. As soon as he said that, several students who usually dislike you immediately joined the uproar. That's right. Third place only scored 280. Why do they deserve full marks? They definitely cheated. You heard these voices clearly. Lu Jinghong's pretty face turned frosty. The cold light in her eyes looked ready to hurt someone, just as she was about to act. You merely gave a cold laugh. You reached out and gently stopped her. Then, with your gaze, you etched Lin Jiang and those clowns one by one into your mind. Seeing that neither of you argued back, and the chief examiner did not speak immediately, Lin Jiang felt as if he had caught something. He instantly grew even more arrogant. All proctoring teachers, someone cheated. You can't cover for them. At the same time, inside the monitoring room, several examiners watched coldly. Zhou Zheng's voice was icy. I'll handle it. Immediately after, his voice exploded beside every examinee's ear like thunder. After unanimous confirmation by all proctors, Li Moran and Lu Jinghong did not engage in any cheating. Those words were like an invisible hand instantly choking Lin Jiang's neck. All his shouting was stuck in his throat. In his heart, Zhou Zheng cursed you 10,000 times. Saying you cheated? He had personally watched you trample several beast hides like nothing. Wasn't this the same as pointing at his nose and calling him incompetent? He said quietly to the examiners beside him, "This Lin Jiang has a crooked mind. Give him a poor evaluation for the entrance exam." Several examiners immediately nodded, faces full of disdain. With the officials speaking, the questioning voices instantly quieted down. However, this matter was not over yet. You moved. You accurately locked onto Lin Jiang's position in the crowd. Without another word, you strode toward him with killing intent all over you. When Lin Jiang saw you, his face turned pale with fear. What are you doing? A cruel curve split across your lips. Calling me a cheater? Looks like your skin is itching. Do you think you can take a beating better than Zhou Yancheng? Before the words had even finished, your arm had already turned into an afterimage. Slap! A crisp, loud smack directly stunned Lin Zhang. The burning pain on his face made his mind go blank. He covered his face, his lips trembling. You dare hit me? Just as you were about to give him another one, Zhou Zhang's warning descended from above. Private fighting is forbidden. Stop immediately. Otherwise, your exam qualification will be revoked. Lin Zhang seemed to grab a life-saving straw. He instantly became energetic again. He pointed at you and screamed wildly, "Sir Examiner, he attacked me. He broke the rules. Hurry and revoke his qualification. Scum like him doesn't deserve to take the entrance exam." Before he could finish shouting, you swiftly raised your leg. A ruthless kick struck his chin. Bang. Lin Zhang was kicked flying by you. Two of his teeth flew out, and golden liquid filled his mouth. He clutched his mouth and let out a pig-like scream. You looked coldly at him, twitching on the ground. Then you raised your head and shouted toward the proctor in the void. Private fighting is forbidden? Then what about falsely accusing others of cheating? Inside the monitoring room, several examiners had headaches. This Li Moran is too wild. What do we do? Really revoke his qualification? But Zhou Zhang shook his head. There was a trace of helplessness and murderous intent in his eyes. We can't revoke it. A treasure like this, if we revoke his qualification, the top 10 academies will tear our home apart. He knew very well that once your performance spread, the top 10 academies would definitely fight over you. But we can't let him act recklessly either. The instigator was this dark-hearted Lin Zhang. Make an example of him. The examiners instantly reached an agreement. The next second, Zhou Zhang's cold, ruthless voice descended again. Examine Lin Zhang falsely accused others and showed poor character after unanimous decision by the examiner team. His entrance exam qualification is revoked. Examine Li Moran engaged in private fighting. Considering this is his first offense, and there were mitigating circumstances, he will receive a warning. If it happens again, he will be severely punished. Hearing this result, Lin Jiang's face instantly turned pale as paper. His world collapsed. His qualification was revoked. Meanwhile, you only received a painless warning. I refuse. Lin Zhang screamed like a madman. This is unfair. Why wasn't his qualification revoked? I protest. I protest. Protest denied. The icy voice fell. A beam of light flashed. Lin Zhang was instantly teleported away. He disappeared completely. His life was finished. That thunderous punishment instantly suppressed the entire place. Those who had just followed along and caused trouble all trembled in fear. They no longer dared to look at you after that insignificant interlude. Zhou Zhang continued announcing that examinees above 240 points should stay. They would prepare for the next stage of the exam. Everyone else may leave. As soon as he finished speaking, large numbers of examinees were teleported away. Only 82 people remained. Those who could remain were undoubtedly the true chosen geniuses of Yulin City. Zhou Zhang's voice rang out again, carrying a solemn tone. All examinees step back. The trial tower is about to descend. Boom. A loud crash sounded in the sky. The weather changed. Lightning flashed and thunder roared. A huge black hole tore open above the square. Immediately after, a magnificent tower radiating endless majesty slowly descended from it. It landed steadily in the center of the square. That grand aura made even you feel a trace of shock. However, it was not over yet. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 10 dazzling beams of light descended from the sky like meteors. The recruitment heads of the top 10 academies are about to descend. Zhou Zhang's voice was filled with reverence. The light dissipated. 10 figures appeared. Some stepped on beasts, while others stood suspended in the air. Every one of them had a powerful aura, an extraordinary presence. Roar. A middle-aged man riding a golden beast was the first to land. The sound wave made every examinee's aura churn. I am Zhao Wu, recruitment head of Tianwu Academy. Through the mist, an old man riding a giant wolf followed closely. Zhongyuan Academy, Zhu Lecheng. One thunderous name after another, one legendary top academy after another, made the students' scalps tingle. My god, the top 10 academies actually came to recruit in person. Just then, a dragon roar resounded through heaven and earth. A huge dark blood-black dragon carried an elderly man with an immortal air as it slowly descended. That overlord-level dragon pressure instantly silenced the whole place. The old man stood at the very front. His voice was calm yet full of authority. I am Zhonglu of Imperial Capital Academy. Imperial Capital Academy, the leader of the top 10 academies, the ultimate holy land for Beastmasters of great cheer. You looked at that old man named Zhonglu. Your eyes moved slightly. This academy was your goal. After the 10 big shots took their seats, Zhou Zhang immediately announced the rules for the final assessment. The final assessment is the trial tower. This tower has 5 floors. Each floor has a different challenge. What you must do is climb as high as possible. Remember, only those who pass the 3rd floor are considered qualified will have a chance to receive early admission from the top 10 academies. The geniuses present all rubbed their fists in anticipation. Fighting spirit burned in their eyes. Boom. The trial tower's gate slowly opened. You and the other examinees lined up and walked inside. At the same time, in front of the recruitment heads, all of your information appeared. How is there an F-level talent here? Your information was like a drop of ink falling into clear water. It was especially glaring. How could an F-level talent make it to the 3rd round? Even Zhonglu frowned. A display error? Impossible, he said decisively. The trial tower is the treasure of Imperial Capital Academy. The tower can never make a mistake. If it was not an error, then how did an F-level talent fight all the way here? This became a mystery. However, Zhonglu only pondered briefly before putting you out of his mind. Perhaps there was some secret. But what did it have to do with him? Just an F-level talent. It was not worth too much thought. His gaze had already locked onto the only SSS-level talent in the data, Lu Jinghong. The others were the same. No one wanted to waste time on an F-level talent. You have entered the 1st floor of the trial tower. After a burst of mechanical sound, you found yourself in a wilderness. Warning: the monsters inside the tower are extremely vicious. If you cannot handle them, please withdraw in time. Vicious? You curled your lips, interested. I'd like to see how vicious they can be. As soon as you finished speaking, 5 creatures, each 1.5 meters tall, with purple bodies and spiked clubs, crawled out of the grass. Purple-skinned orcs. You recognized them at a glance. When they saw you, they immediately roared threateningly. Then they charged over with their clubs raised. You did not even bother moving. You directly summoned Cthulhu. As soon as the over 3-meter-tall Cthulhu appeared, those purple-skinned orcs not only did not fear it, they became even fiercer. They swung their spiked clubs at Cthulhu. However, in front of Cthulhu, they were like reckless children courting death. Cthulhu did not even use its tentacles. A fist wreathed in black mist suddenly smashed down. Bang, bang! 2 purple-skinned orcs were instantly smashed into remains. The remaining 3 finally felt fear. They shrieked and dropped their weapons, turning to flee. But could they escape? 3 tentacles flashed like black lightning. They instantly pierced through their bodies and sucked them into dried corpses. Cthulhu defeated level 20 purple-skinned orcs. Gained 308 spiritual power. That wasn't vicious at all. You curled your lips in boredom. The 1st floor of the trial tower was nothing special. Cthulhu opened the way in front. Soon you found their lair. Inside a crude tribe surrounded by wooden fences, dozens of purple-skinned orcs were patrolling. Among them was one clearly larger ORCS. Wow. Your appearance instantly ignited the entire tribe. All the purple-skinned orcs looked fierce and charged toward you. Not only were you unafraid, you revealed an evil smile. As if looking at lambs waiting to be slaughtered. Quite a lot of them. Perfect for a massacre. From the watchtower, a cold arrow shot straight at your face. Cthulhu's tentacle moved like lightning. Though it moved later, it arrived first and shattered the arrow. Your gaze turned cold. You pointed at the archer. Daring to ambush me? I'll start with you. Cthulhu's tentacle instantly stretched dozens of meters, wrapping around that archer. With a slight squeeze, it crushed him into a dried corpse. The death of their companion completely enraged the orcs. They rushed up madly. Good timing. Cthulhu's dozen-plus tentacles instantly turned into energy whips, lashing wildly through the crowd of orcs. Crack, crack, crack. Energy raged as severed limbs flew everywhere. The huge leader roared and charged forward. The meteor hammer in his hand whistled fiercely. However, before Cthulhu, he was still far from enough. Countless tentacles surged like hunting steeds, instantly binding him tightly. Corrosive mucus kept secreting. In just a few seconds, it melted him into a puddle. Cthulhu defeated the level 20 for purple-skinned orc leader. Gained 780 spiritual power and 1 leader emblem. The remaining soldiers were even weaker. In no time at all, the entire tribe was slaughtered by you. That was it? You looked around, feeling rather disappointed. Congratulations! You cleared the 1st floor of the trial tower. Reward obtained: skill stone and loot. A crystal-like stone appeared in your hand. Skill stone, heavy strike. Common quality. You tried to let Cthulhu learn the skill. The quality is too low. Your beast, Cthulhu, refuses to learn it. It even casts you a disdainful look. Damn. You felt like your own beast had looked down on you. Annoyed, you casually threw the skill stone into your storage space. The portal to the 2nd floor appeared. You walked in without hesitation. You have entered the 2nd floor of the trial tower. The surroundings changed abruptly. You arrived in a desert filled with yellow sand. Strange. You scanned your surroundings. There was nothing there. Rumble. Just then, the ground beneath your feet began trembling violently. The sand churned like boiling water from below. You instantly reacted. You immediately dodged to the side. The very next second after you moved, the place where you had been standing suddenly collapsed, forming a huge sandpit. Boom! A huge black shadow burst from the ground. It was a hideous giant sandworm. Its mouthparts spun wildly, looking utterly disgusting. You immediately activated the Great Eye. Name: Stone-Eating Sandworm, level 26. Skills: Burrow, Erupt, Devour, Yellow Sandstorm. A worm that can burrow? You sneered. Cthulhu instantly appeared. However, the stone-eating sandworm had extremely sharp senses. The instant Cthulhu's tentacles attacked, it actually burrowed back underground, vanishing without a trace. Think that's the end? The corner of your mouth lifted. Little C, use group madness. Buzz. An invisible mental shock spread out like a tide. The next second, the earth shook again. That stone-eating sandworm frantically burst from the ground. It rolled painfully across the sand, even biting at its own body. Golden liquid flowed all over the ground. A few minutes later, it completely lost its life. Cthulhu defeated the level 26 stone-eating sandworm, gained 1,100 spiritual power. Congratulations! You cleared the second floor of the trial tower. Reward obtained: skill stone, bro. Another trash skill. You shook your head, then walked straight into the portal. The third floor was a dark nest where you couldn't see your own hand. You took out a strong flashlight and shone it. Your scalp instantly went numb. On the walls of the nest, giant spiders densely crawled everywhere. The largest one was even more than 2 meters long. Dark venom spiders. These spiders were extremely poisonous and hated light intensely. Your flashlight instantly became the fuse that lit a powder keg. Hiss. All the spiders' eyes instantly turned blood red. They let out sharp screeches and turned into streaks of afterimages, pouncing at you at a speed the naked eye could barely follow. However, before Cthulhu, the poison and speed they were so proud of became a joke. Cthulhu's tentacles danced wildly. Their venom had no effect on it at all. The corroded tentacles recovered instantly. After a dozen minutes, the entire spider nest was cleared out. Congratulations! You cleared the third floor of the trial tower. Reward obtained: antidote potion. You had no use for it and put it away. Then you entered the fourth floor. The fourth floor was a huge lake. A 4 to 5 meter tall water monster lurked in the lake. To others, this was a natural counter, but to you, it was practically free points. What was Cthulhu? A water-attributed old one. Entering the water was like going home. That water monster was toyed with by Cthulhu in the water. In the end, it was drowned alive. Congratulations! You cleared the fourth floor of the trial tower. Reward obtained: clear water ring. This one was somewhat useful. You put on the ring and walked toward the portal to the fifth floor. While you were cutting through everything like vegetables, outside, Lu Jinghong had just cleared the first floor. Her elven god emperor was magnificent beyond description. Flames swept across, burning the purple-skinned orcs to ashes. The recruitment teachers praised her repeatedly, as expected of an SSS-level talent. This performance is truly astonishing. The elven god emperor with sacred beast bloodline has a bright future. Zhonglu nodded repeatedly as he watched. Stroking his beard, he smiled. Barring any accidents, my early admission slot should go to this girl. As soon as he said that, the surrounding people all flattered him. Congratulations, Elder Zhang. You've gained a killing girl. Just then, the big screen displayed Lu Jinghong's clear time. 10 minutes and 7 seconds. 10 minutes? Outstanding. In past years, even geniuses needed at least 13 minutes. Everyone felt Lu Jinghong was already the brightest star of this year. However, in the next second, a cold system notification rang throughout the entire place. Examine Li Moran has entered the fifth floor of the trial tower. The whole place went dead silent. Everyone was stunned. What is going on? Who is Li Moran? He's that F-level talent. Are you kidding me? The exam started less than 15 minutes ago. How could he already be on the fifth floor? Even Zhonglu, who had lived nearly 100 years, suddenly widened his eyes, as if he had seen a ghost. Clearing 4 floors and reaching the fifth within 15 minutes? In a century of entrance exams, this was unheard of. Quick, show me Li Moran's live footage. Zhonglu shouted anxiously. Zhou Zheng immediately operated the screen and switched to you. You were standing before the portal to the fifth floor. Beside you stood that octopus-headed, bat-winged, strange beast. Its body emitted a heart-stopping black mist. What beast is that? All the recruitment teachers, including Zhonglu, could not recognize Cthulhu's origin. Just then, you stepped into the fifth floor. Your muttering voice was transmitted through the broadcast. I wonder if the fifth floor will be more interesting. The first 4 floors were just so-so. Just so-so? That humble bragging tone made the corners of all the recruitment teachers' mouths twitch. However, the instant you entered the fifth floor, the image was suddenly cut off. What happened? Where's the footage? Zhou Zheng's helpless voice rang out. Teachers, according to the rules, once an examinee enters the fifth floor, their exam footage will be sealed immediately. No one has the right to view it. Now, all the recruitment teachers were anxious. An epic-level genius who could reach the fifth floor was right before them. Yet they knew nothing about him. Zhonglu pondered for a moment, but finally shook his head. My target remains unchanged. It is still Lu Jinghong. You may be impressive, but you are still F level. The risk is too high. Lu Jinghong, however, is a stable SSS-level talent. She belongs to Imperial Capital Academy. The teachers from the other academies fell into an inner struggle. Should they take the gamble? For this mysterious F-level talent, should they use their precious early admission slot? You knew nothing of the outside world's hesitation. After entering the 5th floor, you arrived at an ancient battlefield filled with golden mist. You will face the ultimate challenge of this trial. Complete it to obtain a hidden reward. The ultimate challenge? Interesting. As soon as the voice fell, strong winds swept across the battlefield. All the broken walls, bones, and fragments were lifted and gathered in the air. They gradually formed a giant creature over 4 meters tall. Name: Black Wind Bear King. Level 35. Talent: Black Wind Body, wind damage plus 50%. Battlefield Soul, damage reduction 50%. Skills: Black Wind Form, Earth Splitting Heavy Strike, Black Wind Roar. Seeing this long list of information, you finally became serious. This Bear King doesn't look simple. It was the strongest opponent you had encountered so far, Roar. It has been long since a human came here. Human, I will eat you. The Blackwind Bear King spoke human words and charged toward you with a roar. Cthulhu's tentacles lashed out like lightning. However, the Bear King instantly turned into a violent black wind, dodging the attack, and rushed straight at your face. Trying to sneak attack, Cthulhu reacted even faster. A tentacle curled around you and carried you onto its back. Its wing shook and it rose into the air. The black wind could not disperse Cthulhu's black mist. Physical attacks are ineffective. You immediately ordered, Little C, Group Madness. Buzz. A mental shock instantly enveloped the black wind. The violent wind suddenly became chaotic. The Bear King's figure reappeared. It clutched its head and rolled painfully on the ground. Its eyes were filled with hallucinations and fear. However, just when you thought victory was certain, the Black Wind Bear King suddenly let out a heaven-shaking roar. With its powerful will, it forcibly broke free from the hallucination. Human, I'll remember you. After leaving that threat, it turned into Black Wind again, fleeing into the distance at great speed. Trying to run? You snorted coldly. Chase it. Grind it down. Cthulhu flapped its wings and pursued relentlessly. A long chase began. At first, the Bear King mocked you for being unable to catch it. You ignored it. 1 hour passed. 2 hours passed. Cthulhu's stamina seemed endless. Meanwhile, the Black Wind Bear King grew slower and slower. It finally broke down. Human, we have no grudge between us. Why chase me so relentlessly? You sneered. If you died earlier, I wouldn't have to chase you. The Black Wind Bear King completely despaired. The instant its stamina ran out, Cthulhu caught up again. Group Madness was released mercilessly. This time, it no longer had the strength to resist. With one unwilling cry, the Black Wind Bear King was completely devoured by Cthulhu's tentacles. Cthulhu defeated the Black Wind Bear King, gained 4090 spiritual power. Congratulations! You cleared the 5th floor of the trial tower. You obtained a divine ability stone. Oh my god, a divine ability? Seeing the reward, your eyes went wide. This thing was far stronger than a skill. Its power was dozens of times that of a skill of the same level, and it could grow together with the beast. You immediately checked the divine ability stone's information. Blackwind Roar summons a black storm to tear apart and devour enemies. Divine ability cost 10,000 spiritual power. Attribute restriction, wind. Seeing the final line, your face darkened. Unbelievable. Why is it wind attribute? Cthulhu doesn't have that. It can't learn it. Can I only sell this treasure for money? Your heart ached. Just then, the system's voice rang in your mind. Ding. Detected that this divine ability is incompatible with Cthulhu. The system can provide modification service. Modify it? It can even be modified? You were instantly overjoyed. Modify it. It must be modified. First modification is free. Modification successful. Congratulations, host! You obtained a new divine ability, Wrath of R'lyeh. Wrath of R'lyeh. Cthulhu summons the phantom of its sleeping city, R'lyeh, to descend from the sky, dealing devastating damage to all enemies within range. If released at sea, it will also trigger tsunamis and hurricanes. Divine ability cost 15,000 spiritual power. Looking at the description, you trembled with excitement. My god, this is so cool! This power, this style is far beyond that Black Wind Roar. Amazing. You immediately had Cthulhu learn it. Learning successful. Cthulhu obtained the divine ability, Wrath of R'lyeh. With a great weapon in hand, you left the trial tower fully satisfied. At the same time, outside, Zhonglu had already finished Lu Jinghong's early admission procedures. He was preparing to leave. Just then, that cold system notification once again plunged the entire place into silence. Examine Li Moran has successfully cleared the 5th floor of the trial tower. Boom! Everyone exploded. Zhonglu abruptly stood from his seat, his eyes wide, his face filled with disbelief. He cleared it. He actually cleared it. My god, 13 years. After 13 whole years, someone finally cleared the 5th floor. And he's an F-level talent. Who is it that said they'd eat something upside down? Step forward. Under countless shocked, horrified, and incredulous gazes, you slowly walked out of the trial tower. Unbelievable! That bear really could run, you muttered as you walked. But for a divine ability, it was worth it. As you looked up, you saw everyone staring at you like you were a monster. The next second, the recruitment head of Zhongyuan Academy was the first to react. He rushed in front of you. Student Li Moran, come to Zhongyuan Academy. I'll personally apply for a 100,000 gold scholarship for you. Immediately after, the recruitment heads from the other academies swarmed over like mad. Come to our school. I'll give you a beast with an extraordinary bloodline. Come to us. We'll guarantee you become a gold Beastmaster. You were completely confused by this scene. Am I this popular? Not far away, Zhonglu's face turned green and pale. He almost regretted it to death. A peerless genius who could clear the 5th floor had slipped away right under his nose. You were surrounded so tightly you could barely move. In the end, you had no choice but to shout, "Teachers, I'm sorry. My goal is Imperial Capital Academy." That single sentence poured cold water over everyone's enthusiasm. They dispersed in disappointment. Many even turned back and gave Zhonglu a look that said, "You win." Just then, Zhou Zheng's voice rang out again. This entrance exam has ended. The final results will now be announced. First place, Li Moran. Total entrance exam score, 750. Second place, Lu Jinghong. Total entrance exam score, 740. Immediately after, an even grander voice echoed throughout the entire city. Provincial entrance exam results confirmed. Congratulations to Examine Li Moran for achieving the province's only perfect score and becoming Tianfang province's top scorer. The words provincial top scorer were like a heavy bomb. They instantly shook the entire Yuling city. The name Li Moran spread to thousands of households overnight at Qingyu High School. Principal Zhao Deli smiled so widely his mouth could not close. Even his steps carried wind. He bragged to everyone he met. Look at the clouds in the sky. Don't they look like our provincial top scorer, Li Moran? The other principals were so angry, they almost spat blood on the spot. When you returned to school, you were greeted by thunderous firecrackers and fireworks. Our top scorer is back. Zhang Yuru looked at Li Moran with tears in her eyes. You did it. A few days ago, she had still been worried because you awakened an F-level talent. In the blink of an eye, you had given her a tremendous surprise. You grinned, moved closer to her, and said brightly, Sister Ru, I told you I could do it. Now that I'm provincial top scorer, you won't be unsatisfied, right? How could I be? She said gently, her eyes filled with pride. At this moment, Principal Zhao Deli walked over beaming. Student Li Moran, congratulations. The school has decided to award you a 200,000 scholarship. Your eyes lit up. You had ignored the principal earlier, but now immediately put on a warm smile. Oh, how could I accept that? Principal, when will the money arrive? The corner of Zhao Deli's mouth twitched. Then he announced another important matter. Student Li Moran, as the provincial top scorer in 3 days, you will represent Tianfang province and go to Tianhai City to participate in the top scorer secret realm, competing against top scorers from other provinces for this year's national champion title. I heard last year's reward included a top-tier bloodline advancement stone. Bloodline advancement stone, you were not very interested. Cthulhu's bloodline was already forbidden rank. Did it need advancement? Besides that, Zhao Deli added, the national champion receives 5 million in state funding every year, and all tuition and fees at top universities are waived for 4 years. Your eyes instantly widened. 5 million? That was much more practical than some stone. You immediately asked, Principal, when does the secret realm open? How do I get there? You returned home with Zhang Yuru. She cooked a lavish dinner for you. At the table, you looked at her gentle profile and suddenly said, Sister Ru, you treat me so well. Is it only because of my parents' request? Zhang Yuru froze. You looked straight into her eyes. Isn't there also a reason because of me? Her pretty face blushed. She turned her head aside, somewhat flustered. Of course, there's also because of you. You pressed on step by step, slowly walking in front of her, so close you could smell her fragrance. Then what is it? Only then did she seem to realize that the little boy who always clung to her had already grown up. You suddenly lowered your voice and said beside her ear, Sister Ru, do you still remember what I said as a child? Zhang Yuru's face instantly turned red to her ears. When you were little, you said you would marry her. Her heart pounded wildly. She nervously whispered, Moran, this is too sudden. We need your parents' approval first. You looked puzzled. Approval for what? I meant, since I became top scorer, you have to agree to one request. What were you thinking? Zhang Yuru wished she could crawl into a hole. She felt both embarrassed and annoyed. Yet in her heart, there was also a faint trace of disappointment. Then what do you want me to agree to? You revealed a wicked smile and leaned close to whisper in her ear. You said a few words. After hearing them, her eyes widened. Her cheeks burned hot. In the end, she gritted her teeth and nodded. I understand. Consider yourself lucky. After seeing Jong Yuru off, you absent-mindedly finished filling out your application. For some reason, your heartbeat kept accelerating uncontrollably. You always felt an ominous premonition descending. You were about to rest when your phone suddenly vibrated. It was an anonymous MMS. The moment you opened it, your pupils suddenly contracted. The golden liquid throughout your body seemed to freeze instantly. In the photo, Jong Yuru was tied up with ropes, thrown onto the cold ground. Her expression was terrified, with a trace of golden liquid at the corner of her mouth. Below the photo was a line of icy text. Jong Yuru is in our hands 10 minutes. Go to the abandoned factory west of the city. Come alone. No police. Do not be late. Otherwise, the next photo will be of her remains. Sister Ru, an uncontrollable rage and killing intent erupted inside you like a volcano. You kicked the door open. Your body turned into an afterimage as you rushed madly toward the address in the message. Your face was so gloomy it seemed ready to drip water. Your mind went completely blank. Only one thought roared wildly. Who did this? No matter who it was, you would make him and his entire family vanish from this world in the most painful way. The panic and fear in your heart had now turned into bone-chilling killing intent. A few minutes later, you rushed into the abandoned factory. I'm here. Where is she? Get out here. Your voice was hoarse from extreme anger. Clap, clap, clap. Applause came from the darkness. A middle-aged man in luxurious clothes slowly walked out with several bodyguards. As expected of the provincial top scorer. You've got guts. Seeing who it was, your pupils suddenly shrank to pinpoints. Zhou Wenliang, Zhou Yanqing's father. You recognized the middle-aged man at once. Zhou Group's chairman, Zhou Wenliang, and the bodyguards beside him all had bulging temples. At a glance, they were elites. You recognize me? Looks like you're not stupid. Zhou Wenliang sneered. At that moment, you knew this was serious trouble. Your gaze darkened. Your voice turned cold. Where is Sister Ru? Zhou Wenliang waved his hand. A woman tied up tightly with a cloth stuffed in her mouth was roughly thrown out. It was Jong Yuru. She slammed heavily onto the ground, letting out a muffled groan of pain. After seeing you, she began struggling violently. A bodyguard beside her walked up and kicked her. She let out a pained cry. Stop. You shouted sharply. Zhou Wenliang raised an eyebrow. He mocked, so loyal and affectionate. Looks like using this woman to invite you here was the right choice. You suppressed your rage. Your voice was icy. Zhou Wenliang, if you have a problem, come at me. Attacking a woman? What kind of man are you, a man? Zhou Wenliang sounded as if he had heard a huge joke. When you killed my son, did you ever think I would kill you today? Zhou Yanqing, your heart trembled, but you immediately reacted. When you acted, not even a trace was left at the scene. He couldn't possibly have evidence. Chairman Zhou, are you making false accusations? Zhou Wenliang's eyes burst with undisguised killing intent. His tone was cold to the bone. My son is dead. The only person who had a grudge against him and could kill him is you. Whether you did it or not doesn't matter. Today, I'll make you pay the price. Everyone suspicious must be buried with my son. You said word by word, if you want to deal with me, then come at me. Let Sister Ru go. A vicious light flashed in Zhou Wenliang's eyes. Let her go. Ha ha ha. What right do you have to bargain with me? Not only will I not let her go, I'll kill her right in front of you. You made me suffer the pain of losing a son, so I'll let you see what it feels like to watch family die before your eyes. Before he finished speaking, he pulled out a machete and raised it high. Aiming at Jong Yuru on the ground, he slashed down without hesitation. At that instant, your pupils suddenly contracted. Little C, move. Without hesitation, you instantly summoned Cthulhu. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Cthulhu moved like lightning. Countless tentacles shot out. One of them precisely blocked Jong Yuru. Zhou Wenliang's machete struck the tentacle, letting out a loud clang. Not only did it fail to harm Cthulhu at all, he was instead sent flying by the huge recoil. At the same time, another tentacle wrapped around Jong Yuru and brought her to your side. The mucus on the tentacle instantly corroded the ropes. You immediately pulled the cloth from her mouth. Sister Ru, are you okay? Jong Yuru looked panicked. She cried anxiously, I'm fine. Moran, hurry and leave. There are too many of them. As soon as she finished speaking, wrestling sounds rose all around. Over 100 Zhou Group guards poured out from all directions. They all summoned their beasts in unison, completely blocking your escape route. Zhou Wenliang's face was gloomy. You really do have some skill. But do you think you can escape? These 100+ guards of mine are all 2-star Beastmasters. 2-star Beastmasters are a dimensional strike against a student who just finished the entrance exam. Not to mention, there are over 100 here. Jong Yuru's face instantly turned pale. She gritted her teeth and pushed you back. Moran, hurry and go. I'll cover your retreat. I'm also a 2-star Beastmaster. I can hold them off for a while. You must survive. Shut up. You interrupted her harshly. Zhang Yuru froze after being yelled at. She stared blankly at you. Your expression at that moment was somewhat fierce. Your voice carried unquestionable dominance. Do I look like I need you to cover me? At a time like this, just stay behind me obediently. Stop talking nonsense. This was the first time you had been so forceful in front of her. Yet Zhang Yuru was not angry at all. Instead, warmth surged in her heart. That invisible sense of security instantly calmed her down. She nodded, then said softly, "Moran, let's fight together." As she spoke, she also summoned her beast. It was a giant blue butterfly emitting a dreamy light. Dreamwing butterfly. Zhou Wenliang mocked, "How touching. Then I'll send you off as a pair of doomed lovers. All of you attack." Over 100 Windblade wolves surged forward like a tide. Just as Zhang Yuru prepared to command Dreamwing Butterfly, you pulled her into your arms. She cried out in surprise. You were already holding her, jumping straight onto Cthulhu's back. The next second, Cthulhu spread its huge wings and shot into the sky. The 100+ Windblade wolves missed. They crashed into each other in chaos. "He can fly, boss. He's trying to run." Zhou Wenliang's face was full of mockery. "You think flying means you can escape, fool? My Crimson Shadow Eagle is also a flying beast." He summoned a huge Crimson Eagle and stepped onto it. Then he chased you at high speed. "Moran, be careful." Zhang Yuru reminded you nervously in your arms, seeing the Crimson Shadow Eagle getting closer. A cold curve rose at the corner of your lips. The truly foolish one is you. You suddenly raised your head and shouted, "Cthulhu, release Wrath of R'lyeh." Boom. The sky suddenly changed. Dark clouds gathered. A grand, enormous, seemingly boundless city appeared as a phantom in the sky. What is that? Zhou Wenliang froze. An unprecedented fear surged in his heart. Rumble. Lightning flashed and thunder roared. The sky and clouds changed. It was an ancient promise, the dead city sleeping beneath the sea, R'lyeh. As soon as the phantom of R'lyeh appeared, the entire Yuling city erupted. What is that? A city, a mirage? Oh my god, hurry and take a photo for moments. Qingyu High School's principal, Zhao Deli, had just come out of the restroom. When he looked up, he was so frightened he nearly shouted, "What the hell is that?" At the City Lord's mansion, City Lord Gao Qilong was also alarmed. This is definitely an omen. His brows were upon tightly. Has a 7-star Beastmaster appeared near Yuling City? A 7-star Beastmaster could move mountains and fill seas. With a casual strike, they could wipe Yuling City flat. I must go and see. Gao Qilong immediately set off, rushing toward the center of the phenomenon. At this moment, you were at the center of the storm. The city of R'lyeh covered the sky, devouring all light. At your command, that city of death crashed down. Zhou Wenliang's face changed drastically. "Damn it. Block it for me." He himself was so frightened he jumped off the Crimson Shadow Eagle, not daring to face it head-on. A 3-star Beastmaster was actually terrified by a newcomer. On the ground, over 100 guards desperately commanded their beasts to unleash skills, trying to resist. However, it was all futile. Rumble. The city of R'lyeh completely descended. Amid the earth-shaking roar, the ground trembled. A terrifying aura devoured everything. Those Windblade wolves, along with their Beastmasters, instantly turned into golden liquid. You held Zhang Yuru while standing on Cthulhu's back, with a smile on your face. You admired the bloody fireworks written by energy. Zhang Yuru's eyes widened. She felt as if she were dreaming. When everything settled, the ground below was a complete mess. Zhou Wenliang lay in a puddle of golden ripples, dead. His Crimson Shadow Eagle had also become a pile of remains. You lowered your head and looked at Zhang Yuru in your arms. You smiled and said, "Sister Ru, are you okay?" "Why, yes." Zhang Yuru finally came back to her senses. Her pretty face instantly turned red. She struggled to get out of your arms. But you suddenly said, "Sister Ru, do you still remember what you promised me?" Her face turned even redder. "Didn't we say we'd wait until?" You put on a stern face. "I want to collect some interest first." Looking at your serious expression, Zhang Yuru froze. She nervously pursed her lips and finally slowly closed her eyes. Your heart leapt with joy. Just as you were about to lean down, at that moment, Cthulhu suddenly moved. It interrupted the ambiguous atmosphere. You looked displeased, but immediately sensed something. Someone's coming. Then what do we do? Without realizing it, Zhang Yuru had already begun relying on you. Your expression was serious. "We killed so many Zhou family people. If we get caught, it'll be trouble. Let's leave first. As for what you promised me, I'll collect double later." Zhang Yuru turned her head away and whispered, "Hurry and go. When the time comes, I'll agree to whatever you want." You laughed loudly. Holding her waist, you rode Cthulhu and disappeared into the night. Not long after you left, City Lord Gao Qilong arrived on his black-feathered Pegasus. When he saw the tragic scene before him, especially Zhou Wenliang's remains, he gasped. Who on earth could kill Zhou Wenliang and his 100+ guards? Thinking of that terrifying phenomenon, He immediately made a decision. This matter was beyond him. He could not afford to provoke it. But with Zhou Wen lying dead, Zhou Group was now a fat piece of meat. Golden light flickered in Gao Kailong's eyes. The next day, news of Zhou Wenliang's death swept through Yuling City like a storm. By dawn, he was on every TV and newspaper headline. The whole city was boiling, but not with grief. It was celebration. Ha ha ha, Zhou Wenliang, that villain is finally dead. The heavens have opened their eyes. My daughter was taken by him. Her fate is still unknown. That scum deserved this. This is outrageous. Return my hard-earned money. Firecrackers in Yuling City were sold out for a time. City Lord Gao Kailong took the chance to release countless scandals about Zhou Group. Then he publicly announced he would hunt down the killer, while secretly leading people to annex Zhou Group's assets. Of course, none of that had anything to do with you. 2 days later, you arrived at Qingyu High School. Principal Zhao Deli held a grand farewell ceremony for you. Today was the day you would head to the top scorer secret realm. Our top scorer, go and bring Yuling City a national champion title. Zhang Yuru's eyes were full of tenderness. She walked forward and hugged you tightly. Moran, stay safe. I'll wait at home for your return. You said goodbye to everyone. Then you stepped into the teleportation array to Tianhai City. Light flashed. You appeared atop an incomparably tall city wall. Inside the wall was a bustling metropolis comparable to the capital. Tianhai City was filled with high-rises. Traffic flowed endlessly. Outside the city wall were mountains, mist, and roaring fierce beasts. You must be Tianfang Province's top scorer. A middle-aged man in a white robe with a stern expression appeared before you. I am Chen Zhou, the chief person in charge of this top scorer secret realm. Hello, Teacher Chen. Under Chen Zhou's lead, you arrived at a square. Here, dozens of young people like you had already gathered. They were top scorers from different provinces. Everyone, the secret realm begins tomorrow. Chen Zhou announced, the secret realm is extremely dangerous. Spirit beasts above level 40 will appear. I advise you to find teammates in advance. Without a team, you'll barely be able to move. You were not interested in this. You went straight to the ranged hotel. As soon as you entered your room, there was a knock at the door. A staff member handed you a card. Student Li Moran, the capital's top scorer, Bai Yi, is holding a meet and greet. All top scorers are invited. This is a welcome gift, a shopping card worth 100,000 gold coins. Your eyes lit up. You immediately took the card. When does the meet and greet start? Where is it? Of course, I'm not going just for the gift. I mainly want to build relationships. You arrived at the hall on the hotel's top floor. There were already 20 or 30 tables filled with delicacies. You had been hungry the whole trip and didn't bother being polite. You found a random seat and began devouring the food. While you were sweeping through the food like a storm, a burly young man sat beside you with a plate of prawns. Your eyes lit up. You directly reached out, grabbed one, peeled it, and stuffed it into your mouth. The young man froze. Then he became fired up too. He grabbed a prawn and stuffed it into his mouth without even peeling it. The two of you ate one after another. Your speed grew faster and faster. In the blink of an eye, only one prawn remained on the plate. Both of you reached out at the same time. Your hand was faster. You got it. But just as you were about to eat it, a hand reached over and crushed that prawn into bits. Immediately after, a powerful force came. Someone grabbed your arm and threw you out. You reacted extremely quickly. You grabbed him backhanded and rolled, using him directly as a cushion. You're asking to die. The young man jumped up and glared at you. You patted your clothes and said calmly, Psycho. You dare call me that? Do you know who I am? I don't care who you are. You ruined my lobster. If that's not crazy, what is? That was my lobster. The young man roared. Since I was little, not even my mom has ever fought me for food. You're the first. If I don't teach you a lesson today, my name isn't Huo Shan. Before he finished speaking, he directly summoned his beast, a monster with a goat's body, a human face, and tiger teeth. Taodi, seeing this, you also summoned Cthulhu. As soon as the huge Cthulhu appeared, a thick mist instantly shrouded the whole place. Taodi roared and charged forward, only for Cthulhu to bind it tightly with over a dozen tentacles. Immediately after, Cthulhu extended one tentacle. With a crisp sound, the tentacle struck like a whip, smacking Taodi hard on the backside. Skin split and flesh tore, smack. Another strike. In front of everyone, Cthulhu was actually spanking Taodi like disciplining a disobedient child. Huo Shan's face turned green as he shouted anxiously, Stop! Stop hitting it! That wasn't just Taodi's backside. It was clearly his face. Only after teaching it a lesson for a while did Cthulhu throw the humiliated yet oddly refreshed Taodi back to Huo Shan's feet. You asked calmly, Can we talk properly now? Huo Shan looked at the still swaying tentacles. In the end, he gritted his teeth and gave in. I was wrong. I'm sorry. It was just one prawn. Was it really necessary? You couldn't help asking. Huo Shan said sullenly, When I'm eating, if I get disturbed, I easily lose control of my emotions. Food guarding? Ridiculous. You're the one who guards food. Your whole family guards food. Although Huo was still stubborn, deep down, he was completely convinced. Which province's top scorer are you? Why have I never seen your beast before? You answered lazily, Tianfang province. I hadn't seen it before either. Tianfang province? Huo was shocked. A province ranked near the bottom economically can produce someone fierce like you? Your talent is Taoti, right? No wonder you guard food so much. You teased him. You're the one who guards food. Although Huo was stubborn, he still proudly puffed out his chest. My talent is SSS-level Taoti. As long as I keep eating, my beast can grow. Just then, a young man in a white robe, handsome and heroic, walked onto the stage. Everyone, I am Bai Yi, the capital's top scorer. He announced that he would establish a top scorer guild. Only provincial top scorers could join. In the future, it would become the most influential guild in Imperial Capital Academy and even all of Great Jir. His words stirred quite a commotion below. Immediately after, Bai Yi clapped his hands. Dozens of female attendants walked up with trays. Anyone who joins the guild today will receive a shopping cart worth 1 million gold coins. As soon as he said that, the whole place was shocked. My God, what generosity! Count me in! In an instant, half the people chose to join. Just then, a luxuriously dressed and arrogant young man stood up. Bai Yi, once the guild is established, who will be the guild leader? Modu's top scorer, Liu Xiaojun. Someone recognized him. Bai Yi smiled. Naturally, the strongest will be the guild leader. We'll use the results of this top scorer secret realm. Whoever ranks first will be the leader. His words left no openings. Liu Xiaojun snorted coldly and sat down. Bai Yi's gaze swept across the hall, finally landing on Yu and Huo, who was still devouring food. Why haven't you two joined? Huo raised his head, looking confused. What thing? Bai Yi explained again. Huo pointed at the food on the table. If I join, will there still be food like this? Bai Yi's mouth twitched. As much as you want. I'll give you as much as you can eat. Good. Then I'll join. After saying that, Huo buried his head and kept eating. Bai Yi looked at you. Brother, what about you? You pondered for a moment and asked, do you offer benefits and housing fund? What's the monthly salary? Are weekends guaranteed? How many vacation days? Is overtime triple pay? Bai Yi's face turned green. Do you think this is a job, isn't it? Not far away, Liu Xiaojun immediately let out a sneer. Her. As expected from Tianfang province. A pathetic fool who has never seen money in his life. Your parents must also be poor to raise someone like you. Before he could finish, you picked up the plate beside you and smashed it hard at his face. Smack. The plate shattered. Liu Xiaojun's forehead started bleeding. His face was covered in shredded pork with garlic sauce. He let out a scream. His expression turned ferocious. You're courting death. You sneered. A filthy mouth deserves a beating. You asked for it. I'll kill you. Liu Xiaojun was completely enraged. Just as he was about to summon his beast, fighting is forbidden here. Violators will lose their top scorer secret realm qualification. Chen Zhou suddenly appeared and stopped the conflict. When Liu Xiaojun saw Chen Zhou, he forcibly swallowed his anger. He could only point at you and leave a threat. Just you wait. When we're in the secret realm, I'll see who can help you. With that, he flicked his sleeve and left. Bai Yi looked at you deeply, then walked forward to show goodwill. Brother, Liu Xiaojun has always looked down on people from backward places. Don't worry, the top scorer guild treats everyone equally. If you need it, I can personally pay you 100,000 gold coins a month and cover your benefits and housing fund. You raised an eyebrow. As expected of the capital's god of wealth. Generous. I'll join this guild. Early the next morning, Huo came knocking at your door. Brother, let's team up in the secret realm this time. I prepared a red envelope with 100,000 gold coins. You were about to close the door, but hearing that, you immediately pulled him in. Hey, you came all this way. Why bring a red envelope? Actually, my dad transferred you 1 million in sponsorship fees. You immediately wrapped an arm around his shoulder. With a serious face, you said, don't worry, I'll cover you in the top scorer secret realm. Lie down and let me carry you. Huo was overjoyed. His father had already found out that Tianfang province produced a genius who cleared the 5th floor of the trial tower. He was certain it was you, so he told Huo to do whatever it took to build a good relationship with you. Soon, you gathered at the square. You sensed an icy gaze. When you turned around, it was Liu Xiaojun. The corner of your mouth lifted. You slowly raised a big middle finger at him. Liu Xiaojun's face instantly turned liver-colored with rage. He was nearly unable to breathe. At this moment, Chen Zhou appeared and began announcing the secret realm rules. The top scorer secret realm is set in the Qiangshu trial ground. It has 9 levels, called the 9 heavens. The higher you go, the stronger the spirit beasts. On the 9th level is a spirit beast with mythical bloodline, the Qiangshu God Emperor. Defeat it and you can obtain a Qiangshu God Emperor egg. Mythical bloodline. Everyone's eyes shone with greed. They were determined to get it. The secret realm lasts 7 days. Rankings will be based on points earned from defeating spirit beasts, deciding this year's national champion. Lastly, the secret realm is extremely dangerous. If you encounter danger, crush your identity token to leave. Everyone, make sure you return safely. After saying that, Chen Zhou waved his hand and opened the secret realm teleportation ray.